Hello and welcome to Fantasy Football Hub. I'm joined today by BigManBakar and we're here to talk about World Cup Fantasy. There's a very quick turnaround between these game weeks, Bakar. It's a bit much, is it?
It's like, by my estimation, we have like 12 and a half hours before the next match day starts off. And, a large part of the FPL community is wildcarding. And the funny part is that given how the game's been operating, we're not exactly sure as to how to go about it because there's a lot of ambiguity regarding the game. But anyways, I'm very set on wildcarding this week, given that it's a short format game anyway. I think the gains are to be made early, and um, we should look to make as many points at the start because it's a game which will make it harder to catch up at the end. And not just that, I mean, there's this rumor going around that if you wildcard in match day two, then there's a chance that if you make transfers on the last day of match day two, you might end up with unlimited transfers for game week three, match day three. So, I mean, that opportunity seems too good to pass up. And regardless of that, even if that isn't the case, I still think going for a wild card in match day two makes a lot of sense.
There's no shying away from it. It's been a bit of a shit show of a game, which is a real shame because I feel like so many of us wanted to have it to play and to get involved. And last week I was all excited about my Gakpo pick, and then Gakpo scored, and I was yay, and it was great. And then I'm in and I'm tinkering around, and I don't know. It's just as you said to me off air beforehand. This is a game that should literally be tailored for casuals. It should be tailored for the
Exactly.
people who want to play fantasy once every 4 years because they care about World Cups, or it's a big event in their office or wherever they work, or their family maybe have a sweepstake, and it just isn't that. That there's too
Yeah,
much.
exactly. Exactly. A lot of people who I know who are casuals, I mean, they tend to watch the World Cup and they tend to play these kind of games, but this just scares them off because it's a lot of high maintenance. There's a lot of ambiguity regarding the rules. I mean, even people like us who are so invested in the game, even if we don't have any sort of clarity, then uh, I mean, what idea would the casual have, right? It's been an absolute farce, to be very honest, and it just scares people away, which is not what you want to see. And it's just very um, bizarre that they've been, even today they've been adding new images of players making the game more fancy, yet they've not fixed the points. I mean, no points for shots on target have been added for forwards. Um, Similarly, no points for tackles and chances created have been added for midfielders. A lot of people have used their transfers. They've been unable to bring players off their bench. So it's been a complete mess. It's been an absolute mess, and we still don't know whether what rules will be in place for match day two. I mean, after the game has started, can you believe it, John? After the game has started, they actually reinstated the rule for midfielders to 7 points per goal, while before the match day one deadline it was meant to be 5 points per goal. I mean, what is going on? It's absolutely beyond me.
But what's heartbreaking about it, and shout out FPL Hazards who I see in the comments, what's absolutely baffling me is that, or heartbreaking, is that like part of me wants to just go, do you know what? I'm not playing it. I can't be arsed with this because it's a crap game. It hasn't been organised well. It could be so much fun if it was ran correctly, if the rules
Exactly.
were clear, if everything made sense. But moving goalposts once teams are locked, all this jiggery pokery around rules and uncertainty and clarification coming here, but which is as clear as mud. It just makes it really hard because I feel like whenever you're like us and you make FPL content, you feel obliged almost to get involved and like to try and be upbeat. And we've just spent the first 5 minutes of this video ranting about how crap the game is that we're about to play. But
Exactly.
it's
Exactly. And
hard because you want to play it, and I'm sure there's people out there maybe who don't care as much about the intricacies, and maybe they're just having a bit of crack with it, and maybe
I
someone's got
mean,
off to a flyer.
yes, we should enjoy the World Cup, but again, I mean, there's a lot of potential in having a game where it's just fun. It's just not worth the hassle. I know a lot of people who've sort of given up on it already, and it just seems to be that kind of game where you don't really know what's going on. Um, it just doesn't seem to reward the effort you put in because of these technological glitches and their let me put it this way, their poor scoring system just doesn't make any sense.
Well, look, what we're going to do today, though, is we're going to reveal your wild card draft. It's all in one. Normally we build back to front, but time is of the essence. Tomorrow morning, the deadline, it locks, what is it, 9 a.m. or something? That's UK time, I think. An hour before the first
10
kickoff, is
a.m.
it?
10 a.m. UK time.
Is it? What first kickoff's at 10? Does it lock
Yeah,
on kickoff, or does it lock an hour before?
it locks on kickoff.
Okay, so 10 a.m. lock, so we've got 12 hours turnaround, so no point in messing around. Talk us through this team back to front.
Again, I mean, it's a team which I've just thought out very quickly given the short turn, and I haven't given it a lot of thought. But the template of this team is more or less likely to remain the same because um, I'm just targeting the fixtures in game week 2 and taking those into account when I'm making the team. I've gone with 2 4 million goalkeepers. I've gone with Milinkovic, who's from Serbia. They're playing Cameroon, and that should be a fairly decent chance of a clean sheet. Japan, I've gone for the Japan goalkeeper. Japan have the highest. Um, they have the best clean sheet odds this week out of all the teams. And it's great that their starting goalkeeper is just 4 million. They're up against Costa Rica, who were very, very poor against Spain, and they barely had a sniff of goal. So I think the 8 million combination in goal makes a lot of sense as it gives you a legit chance of catching a clean sheet for very little price that you pay. In defense, I've gone with Denzel Dumfries, who's my pick again because of his goal threat. He was playing on the right wing, very advanced in the game, in the group stages as well. Similarly, Trippier's there. We all know about him. Decent game against the United States, and he's on set pieces, so there's a good chance that he can nick an attack in return. I've gone with Alexandro as my third because Brazil have very good odds to keep a clean sheet next week, and they looked rock solid today. They barely conceded any chance. So I do think that a Brazil defender makes sense. In this slot, I can also go with Theo Hernandez, to be very honest. But I just about think I prefer a Brazil one. And in the other two defensive positions, I have gone with a Japanese defender and a Senegal defender. Again, Senegal are up against Qatar, who had 2 penalty area touches in the game against Ecuador in the opening fixture. So I think Senegal have a good chance of a clean sheet over here. And similarly, I've spoken about Japan. Again, their starting defender is just 4 million. So I do think there's value to be had.
Lots of nice players there, and it's funny just how quickly, attention can shift from all the players in Game Week 1 into Game Week 2, but it is all about playing fixtures, isn't it? Whenever you're wild carding like this, and obviously picking out the form players, but fixtures matter a lot. A lot of the second place teams, projected second and third place teams, a lot of them we might have avoided for game week 1 because they either had the team that was expected to top the group or they had them this week. But if they're one of those teams that has got that hard fixture out of the way and got through it respectfully, Japan, Saudi Arabia, maybe these types of teams have got the hardest team in the group out of the way and got a result. Okay, maybe with Japan they still have Spain to play, which can be a very hard game after that 7-0 win. My point is that it opens up a lot of options, I think, and we have a lot more to go off. But I like the logic, particularly the goalkeepers, go cheap and you can put the one that plays first up and you're just kind of double chance of the clean. And there have been quite a lot of clean sheets.
The main thing is that, this is a team which is tailor-made for Matchday 2 only. Now, again, this rule regarding the unlimited changes, I need some clarity. Hopefully we get some clarity before the deadline tomorrow. If we do get some clarity that, yes, we will be able to have unlimited transfers for Game Week 3, then this team makes a lot of sense because I think it's like a free hit for Game Week 2, for Matchday 2. But let's say we don't get any clarity, then I might change up the defense slightly to get, a player from a stronger team, perhaps over the cost of someone who's a 4 million defender.
Cod Patrol Les Grossman, what a name, in the comments. Who did you captain in the end? In this image, you've your captain on the keeper, but I doubt that's the plan.
No, I had Messi as my captain, and I switched because of the rule change that midfielders were getting 7 points per goal. So I went with De Bruyne. He should have 4 points because of 4 key passes that he made. But again, those 4 points haven't 2 points for the chances created haven't been added, which they should be. I don't know whether they will be added or not because I can't really trust this game. But yeah, if he rightfully gets his fair share of the points, then he should have 8 points as my captain. And that's not too bad.
Mad how bad he played, yet he can still rack up that many key passes, isn't it?
That's exactly the point. I mean, that's exactly why I went for him. I expected him to be playing in the front three, and to be there was a slight chance he could have been on penalties as well, but it was just worth the risk with the floor that he has, with the chances he creates with set pieces and all. It's just unfortunate that Belgium were very poor and Canada looked amazing actually.
How many points did you end up on in game week 1? I can't really display
I have
your
58.
team,
I have 58. I have been given 58, but again, this is before adjustments, and I am sure some adjustments surely will be made. Ericsson had 4. In fact, he had 5 key passes, and those points are yet to be added. De Bruyne's points are yet to be added.
Yeah.
Messi shot on target is yet to be added. Giroud similarly. I don't know whether they will be added or not, but these are all points which should be added. But again, I can't trust this game.
Yeah, I'm looking here, 21, 33, 35. My team's displaying as a matchday point total of 48. Oh, it hasn't added Neymar's points yet. I switched captain from Messi to Neymar like a chump. But look, it is what it is. I'm sitting on 48.
A lot of people did it, and it's meant. This game is meant to be fun, so it's okay.
It's okay.
If it was FPL, then I would have said stick. But you're watching a game, you're going for the upside, so I think it makes sense.
We won't be too hard on ourselves. So that's Bakar's wildcard draft. If you're wildcarding in game week 2, as many are, I'm sure there's a couple of picks in there as well. Is there anyone that just about missed out? Is there anyone you like the idea of this week? Anyone you like the look of that people should think about?
I'll talk you through my midfield and forwards, and my midfield and forwards. Saka, I think he picks himself after the performance in Matchday 1. I have Tadic. I want a Serbian attacker for their game, and this is not room in the forward slots. So I've picked Tadic. Again, if the rules for chances created are in place, he should get those extra points as well, as he's on set pieces. There's Kamada from Japan, who I expect to be heavily involved. He has a very good scoring record at club level as well. There's De Bruyne. Again, if the chances created are a thing, he should get points. Belgium have a decent fixture against Morocco. Up front, I have Messi, Neymar, and Richarlison. I don't really know what the case will be with Neymar. He could be injured, and if he's injured, then I think I'll swap him to either Kane or Mbappe, or one of those.
Question here from Ross Turner. Would you launch in Jonathan David?
Jonathan David is a good option, and I've looked at him. He had 7 shots the past game week, which was, I think it was the second highest only to Mbappe, or it was joint first. I'm not exactly sure, but his numbers were really, really good, and I think he's a good option to have. It's just that I do think that given Richarlison's performance now, I think he's the mid-price forward to go with, and I think that it makes sense to go with 2 premium forwards.
Yeah, Jonathan David has that tricky Croatia fixture too. Canada looked electric. I really, really, really like the look of them. I'm surprised Jonathan David didn't take the penalty. I know Alphonso Davies has taken a few for Canada before. I just know Jonathan David takes them at Lille, and he's quite clinical from them. Maybe now that Alfonso's missed them, it might mean JD gets a chance next time. I don't know. I wouldn't be bringing him in this week though, with the likes of the Croatia fixture beckoning. I'm going to build my team purely for fun, I think, Bakar. I'm going to target this week's fixtures. I'm going to get a few Japanese players in for the Costa Rica game. Who else looked weak? Who else looked really weak?
Qatar.
Who? Qatar. Yeah, Senegal. Yeah. Get me some Senegal players in.
Exactly. Qatar and Iran.
Yeah. Not Saudi Arabia, though.
Saudi Arabia looked great, yeah.
I'm going to get a Saudi Arabia defender and the goalkeeper.
They're 4 million, I think. Yeah, they're 4 million. Not bad. They were incredible, definitely.
Well, look, everyone, best of luck. We'll keep this short and snappy so you can digest it very quick. Drop a like before you head out. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with FPL content in about a month. But until then, we'll keep talking about this game through the stages, Bakar. Maybe one of us will win it.
Let's hope we see an improvement by the time we're recording the next video.
Yeah. Well, guys, look, best of luck with it. Have fun. Hope you are enjoying the World Cup. Incredible results. I can't wait. I'm off to London for the weekend, Bakar. I'm going to be watching lots of matches. I'm going to be watching England play the USA in England, not cheering for England. It's going to be quite awkward.
Have fun. I'm sure it will be an enjoyable experience for you.
I'll try and stay safe. But